Hello everyone, today I will be reviewing Sophie's Choice. Sophie's Choice came out in 1982 and was directed by Alan J. Pakula and stars Meryl Streep, Kevin Kline and Peter MacNicol. So most of this film is set in 1947 in Brooklyn. Meryl Streep plays a character called Sophie, and Sophie is a survivor of the Holocaust, and she lives with her boyfriend Nathan, who's played by Kevin Kline, in this boarding house. Then we also have this other character called Stingo, who is played by Peter MacNicol, and he's an aspiring young writer, and he lives in the apartment below Nathan and Sophie. Although at the start of this film most of it is set in 1947 in Brooklyn, we do later move to a slightly different setting later on in the story when Sophie, played by Meryl Streep, she is telling her experiences, or telling us as the audience about her experiences of World War II and the Holocaust. But really most of the film is actually seen from Peter MacNicol's character's point of view, Stingo, and we're introduced to him at the start of the film, and the film is really about Stingo finding out about Sophie as a character. We tend to see things through the eyes of Stingo as a character, and really the two characters, Sophie and Nathan, are the two more interesting characters in this film. Stingo is very much sort of in the background, though he's a very likable character. We tend to see things more from his point of view. So one of the best things about this film is Meryl Streep. Her performance in this film is fantastic, and what is amazing is that in this film she's playing a Polish immigrant, and Meryl Streep is actually putting on a Polish accent, and it is very convincing. In fact, because this is the first time that I'd ever seen this film, I didn't know very much about it except that Meryl Streep was in it, and I went into it not realising that Meryl Streep was going to put on a Polish accent. So when she first started talking with an accent, I was a bit taken aback, and it took me a little bit of getting used to, but I actually got used to it very quickly because her accent was so convincing. And when I was watching the film, I almost sort of forgot it was Meryl Streep. She just seemed to become Sophie as the character. And Sophie, the character, she also knows a bit of German as well. So we see Meryl Streep talking German later on in the film, and that's also very convincing. Meryl Streep actually went on to win the Oscar for Best Actress for this film, and I can certainly see why, because she gives an outstanding performance in this film and really steals the film and really makes this film very much worth watching. I also have to talk about Kevin Kline in this film. So this was Kevin Kline's feature film debut, and Kevin Kline plays Nathan, who is Sophie's boyfriend. And Nathan's a very reckless character. He tends to get angry very easily. He seems to have some sort of bipolar disorder, and one minute he'll be very happy and very excited, the next minute he'll be sad and he'll get angry really quickly, and as such he's a very interesting character in this film. Also, Peter MacNicol, he also does a very good job as playing Stingo, who is, I suppose, sort of really the main character in this film, the character who we see things through, but at the same time he's not as interesting a character as Sophie and Nathan, unfortunately, although that is supposed to be his character. He's meant to be quite sort of shy, calm, and he's very much a relaxed sort of character compared to Sophie and Nathan, who are more interesting. But he's a very likable character, and Peter MacNicol does well in the performance of this. So later on in the film, we also get Sophie's experience of the Holocaust. She tells the experience of what she went through with her two kids when she was there. The setting just changes. So we're in 1947 in Brooklyn, and then we're seeing what happened to her in Auschwitz during World War II. I have to say, I think this is a very good film as a drama. I think the performances are all absolutely fantastic. I think from an acting perspective, this film is absolutely brilliant. However, I did feel it did drag a little bit. This film is quite long. It's actually 2.5 hours long. I think 2 hours 31 minutes is the total running time. So it is quite a long film. Quite a lot of this film is just conversations between the three main characters. Really, probably 90% of this film is these three main characters, Sophie, Nathan, Stingo, having a conversation with each other and talking. Now, a lot of what they're saying is very interesting. They do have very interesting conversations, especially Meryl Streep as Sophie is very good, but this isn't the most exciting or, you know, edge of your seat type film. It's not. It's very much a drama where people are having conversations. So if you like that kind of thing, then this is going to be right up your street. It's going to be a very good film for you to watch. But if you want something a bit more exciting and with a bit more tension, a bit more grip to it, then you might not find it here. I did find that some of the conversations in this film maybe do go on for a bit too long, and some of what the characters are saying tends to drift off in a bit of a different direction and doesn't necessarily seem relevant to the story. But I think what they're trying to do with this film when they're making it is giving us different sides to the characters and showing us what these characters are like and what their personalities are. And like I said, it's very much a three-way film with these three characters getting to know who they are and showing different sides to their personalities. And that I can certainly appreciate. When people describe this as a Holocaust film, it really only is a Holocaust film in the second half of it. We only see a certain side of the Holocaust in this film. That is Sophie's experience of it. And really, for the most part, during the first bit of the film, it's not necessarily about the Holocaust. We later find out more of Sophie's experience of the Holocaust, and that is where the topic of the Holocaust actually comes in. Given that this was the first time I'd seen this film, I was impressed with it. I did find it a good drama with some fantastic performances in it, but I also have to say I do think it went on a little bit too long in places, and in some spots it did start to lose my attention slightly. But overall, looking back on it, I do think it's a decent film and probably worth a watch. So I'm going to give Sophie's Choice a rating of 8 out of 10, and I think that if you're looking for a drama with some fantastic acting performances and a very good performance of Meryl Streep, then you'll certainly like this. So make sure to watch Sophie's Choice if you get a chance. So there we go. So that is Sophie's Choice. So what do you guys think? Have you seen Sophie's Choice? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Please let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.